In creating your digital story, you've come up with an idea, and the first thing you need to do is collect your media. And in a digital story, the basics of the media are the images, whether you have still images or video, the soundtrack, and then you're going to record your voice. And within the WeVideo, we will also use transitions to create that effect. Now, I've already uploaded. I'm going to do something on my Irish heritage. So I found some photos of my family. So here I've already gone to the upload button and I've browsed my computer and I've uploaded them. That's pretty evident. If you have any trouble with that, there's tutorials or let me know. And here in photos is where the photos are. Now in videos, I don't have a video of our family. I'm not going to use that, but I will be using this record button, and I'm going to record myself speaking. I'll be writing a little narrative and I'm going to record that. That's where I get the audio of my voice. So the other audio I'm going to look for is in this audio track. I want a soundtrack of Irish music, something to go with it. And right now there's options here. There's action, drama. So it's kind of hard to find for me. I'm going to test it out here. I'm going to add it to the timeline to listen to it. But I haven't found anything of Irish music. So I'm going to I want to upload in the media here. I'm going to upload some music. But first I have to find it. And I've given you a list of royalty-free music resources. So on if you click and go to the royalty media, here you have educational uses. I like to use the free play music, and that will bring you to this site where you could search in the search button. Here you have all kinds of styles option, and I just typed in again Irish musicians, and then I listened to you can preview them so you don't have to download the whole thing, and it actually brought me to 11 tracks right here specific to. So I'm going to take this weekend jig and I'm going to take a 50-second MP3. I've already previewed it, so I'm going to click on the MP3 and it's going to download to my computer. Now the first thing you have to do, I want to know where it's downloading, and again the default download is in my downloads folder. Here's the MP3. You want to put it on your computer. I generally make a folder on my desktop for the media that I'm using. So I'm going to browse and I'm going to go to desktop and I'm going to find that MP3 right here, and I'm going to open, and here it's uploading. So it says it's 100%, it's uploaded, it's done. And I'll go to the editor, and now I'm going to go to audio, and there it is, weekend jig. But before I do that, remember I said I was going to name it. So I click on Untitled, and I'm just going to call this Heritage, if I could spell. And I'm going to save it. And this also, whenever you're working on the WeVideo, it doesn't automatically save like Google does. You have to go here. When you make a bunch of changes, often come here and hit save, just so you're not losing, if your computer crashes, as we've all had that happen, and we lose stuff we've done. Okay, so I've got that music, I have my photos, I have still yet to write my script. But just to give you an example, once I write my script, so here I'm going to actually bring in the background music to this audio track right there, and I can listen to it. It's a little loud, and if I wanted to, if I double click edit, let's see right there, edit it, click on the middle, it says edit, and here I have a volume button. I'm going to move that down, and I also want to fade it in. So I'm going to fade it in the first second, well actually 0.5, let's see how that sounds. And I'm going to hit done, and let's see how it sounds faded in. It's still a little loud, but you'll play with that, particularly when you have your voiceover. You're going to have to make sure that your soundtrack doesn't overwhelm your voice. So that's how I brought in the soundtrack. And here are my photos. So I'm going to go to, these go on the main track, and I want to, thinking about the progress of my story and what it's going to, my voice, what I'm going to say. I'm going to start out with my images. So I'm going to drag one in, and I'm going to think about the order that I want. So that's my grandmother and her family, but even before that, I think I want to start with them coming over on the boat. So here's a picture of the Irish migration. I got that from archive.org, oh, actually the New York Public Library. Here's again my ancestors' family and my grandfather and my father as a baby. And I'm going to bring in, I'll think about if that's enough, and I'll bring in myself as a baby. So here are my images. Let's see. So it's going to preview. And I'll think about the length of time each shot is. Okay. So generally that's how I begin. And again, this is a draft, so it's not going to be a perfect. So I also want to think about transitions. So between the slides while I'm talking, I don't want the transition to be so flippy and moving, it's going to distract the viewer. So here's some various effects of transitions, and most of them are they're just way out there for my type and style. I think I'm going to stick with a standard fade, crossfade. So if I drag it between the images, there's a transition between each one of them, and sometimes I forget, but it's alright, it won't double. And there. So let's see how that works. So I'm going to go through. Okay, so it transitioned, and you can make the transitions longer. If you need to look at your track a little clearer, you can drag this little sort of magnifier over here, drag it to the right, and then you can see, if you double click right here on your transitions, if you get the right, there it is, you can make it longer. So if you think your transition needs to be longer, you drag it. And that's the same thing with the images. If you think you need them shorter, you drag them. So here, let's see how that works. It's a little bit. Okay, so I think we're getting there. You can also up here move the length of the slide as well. So I'm going to make it a little smaller. Can I see all my frames? I would want a title photo ahead of that. So I'm going to I'll bring in a photo that, here, we'll bring this one in to the beginning. I'm not sure it matches, but if I make it black and white, I think it'll be good. I'm going to make it a little shorter. My title's going to go over that photo. And let's see if there's transition. So you can flip them, scale them, rotate. I can change the color to make it and have effects. So I really want to have a old effect of that photo. So I'm going to make it black and white, and I'm going to hit done. So there's a lot of features in the advanced editor. And now we have soundtrack, the background track, we have the photos, and then we're going to come in and we're going to do the voiceover, and that's in the video right here. But I have to write my script first, so I'll come back in just a bit.